Don't for heaven's sake be afraid of talking nonsense, but you must pay attention to your nonsense. The limits of my language means the limits of my world. A serious and good philosophical work could be written consisting entirely of jokes. Philosophers are often like little children who first scribble random lines on a piece of paper with their pencils and now ask an adult, "What is that?" I don't know why we are here, but I'm pretty sure that it is not in order to enjoy ourselves. Whereof one cannot speak, thereof one must be silent. Hell isn't other people. Hell is yourself. The real question of life after death isn't whether or not it exists, but even if it does, what problem this really solves. If people never did silly things, nothing intelligent would ever get done. Nothing is so difficult as not deceiving oneself. A man will be imprisoned in a room with a door that's unlocked and opens inwards, as long as it does not occur to him to pull rather than push. To imagine a language is to imagine a form of life. The problems are solved, not by giving new information, but by arranging what we have known since long. We are asleep. Our life is a dream. But we wake up sometimes, just enough to know that we are dreaming. Philosophy is a battle against the bewitchment of our intelligence by means of language. Never stay up on the barren heights of cleverness, but come down into the green valleys of silliness. How small a thought it takes to fill a life. When we can't think for ourselves, we can always quote. If you and I are to live religious lives, it mustn't be that we talk a lot about religion, but that our manner of life is different. It is my belief that only if you try to be helpful to other people will you in the end find your way to God. We feel that even if all possible scientific questions be answered, the problems of life have still not been touched at all. I act with complete certainty, but this certainty is my own. At the core of all well-founded belief lies belief that is unfounded. What can be shown cannot be said. Ethics and aesthetics are one. What is troubling us is the tendency to believe that the mind is like a little man within. The world of the happy man is a different one from that of the unhappy man. A picture held us captive, and we could not get outside it, for it lay in our language, and language seemed to repeat it to us inexorably. You can't think decently if you're not willing to hurt yourself. When you are philosophizing, you have to descend into primeval chaos and feel at home there. If anyone is unwilling to descend into himself, because this is too painful, he will remain superficial in his writing. If I perform to myself, Then it's this that the style expresses, and then the style cannot be my own. If you are unwilling to know what you are, your writing is a form of deceit. Logic takes care of itself. All we have to do is to look and see how it does it. If you tried to doubt everything, you would not get as far as doubting anything. The game of doubting itself presupposes certainty. This is how philosophers should salute each other. Take your time. An honest religious thinker is like a tightrope walker. He almost looks as though he were walking on nothing but air. His support is the slenderest imaginable, and yet it really is possible to walk on it. If in life we are surrounded by death, then in the health of our intellect we are surrounded by madness. Sometimes, in doing philosophy, one just wants to utter an inarticulate sound. My day passes between logic, whistling, going for walks, and being depressed. I wish to God that I were more intelligent and everything would finally become clear to me, or else that I needn't live much longer. The eternal life is given to those who live in the present. Everything that can be thought at all can be thought clearly. Everything that can be said clearly. The philosopher is not a citizen of any community of ideas. That is what makes him a philosopher.